Hi, so this week we will be discussing the not so sexy and often taboo subject to talk about is sanitary products. So, you know, pretty much all women have periods once a month. You know, some might not due to, medical reasons, but on average, most women have a period at some point in their life. And most women either use sanitary pads or sanitary towels, or some people will use tampons. According to research, most women will use, if they use pads or tampons, will use 11,000 of them over a lifetime. But what a lot of people aren't aware is the amount of plastic that goes into them. A sanitary pad, including the wrapper it's in, I'm not going to open it because, I'm going to put it back in the bathroom because someone might need to use it. I don't want to waste it. But yeah, the pad and the wrapping is mainly about 96% plastic. Now this is a non-applicated tampon, so this one just has the thin individual layer which you just twist off. So that's plastic, but also the string is coated in plastic. So there's a lot of plastic goes into the sanitary wear. And what a lot of people don't know is actually sanitary products aren't classed as medical products. So legally they don't have to be wrapped in plastic. They just are because it makes people feel that they're more protected, but they're not. So yeah, obviously, sort of in general, sanitary wear doesn't really get discussed that much. And this is just more, as I said, to make people kind of aware. So apart from the plastic, there's trouble in how people dispose of it. Either people, try and flush it, which ends up, blocking drains or ending up on the beaches, or people, send it to, obviously they send it to the landfill, but it's not wrapped properly, and if it's placed in bins, it can attract like seagulls and things like that. But yeah, it's with the non-disposable, with the non-disposable items properly. As I said, it means a lot of it gets washed up on beaches, sort of from sewers. And I think research from, let me just double check, it was figures from the Marine Conservation Society reveal that on average there's 4.8 pieces of menstrual waste, so that's either pads, tampons, applicators, etc. per every 100 metres of the beach. And yeah, so it's ended up, people use it and they're not thinking about where it ends up. So yeah, so there's the amount of plastic, how it's getting there, and as I say, this is things that people, sort of don't think about very often because I believe from about age 10, sort of at school, you get taken into assembly, you get given the talk and you get told this is what you must use. So, for, many years you just get used to it. But now there are a lot of alternatives because obviously, people do want to feel clean when they're on the period. There's like women and children, young women I should say, sort of in countries that can't afford sanitary product, and it could be, quite disturbing for them. They're using like, bits of cloth on the, found on the street and whatever. And that, I'm not saying that's what we go back to, not at all. Just obviously now people are more aware of different options. Now you can get reusables. So for example, have a moon cup, and this is, well, I couldn't find like a glass or anything, so obviously I know vaginas are not, you know, sort of square shaped, and this is a bit embarrassing to do, as you can see, like I'm getting a bit, but I think it is important. Obviously it's not to scale, and I'm just using juice, like diluted juice, and just to show, because I think a lot of people want to go to using reusables, but they're not quite sure and then a bit worried about them. So I think when I have been talking with people, you know, people are a bit worried, oh, you know, how about if it slips, how about if I have an accident, whatnot. So I just want to kind of show how it works. So obviously this is not to scale, but I didn't want to Google the best sizing, so this will have to do for now. What you do is you fold it in half and you pop it up, have a little wiggle, pull it tight. That can snip off in case, you know, you find it uncomfortable, or you can leave it on. So what happens is it causes suction, see there, and yeah, so to be that way around. Say you're on your period, you can, I don't know, you can do cartwheel. I do not do cartwheels at all. And that's kind of it. And then all you do is, ooh, pop your finger in, pull it out. And that's kind of it. And then that, because it is made out of medical grade silicone, it can be washed, it can be sterilised with boiling water and nothing will happen to it. And actually it's quite fascinating because you come more in tune with what's going on. But you know, other options have come on the market. You have sort of pants with kind of a built-in pad, I think. That means it can, you know, they can be washed, etc. So yeah, you know, I'm not saying you must use them. This was just more of a video to make people more aware of the high amount of plastics used to make sanitary towels or sanitary pads. With, let me, yeah, with the equivalent of a pack of menstrual pads. So sanitary towels, they normally come in a pack of about 8 or 10, and it can contain up to the equivalent of 5 plastic bags. So when you think about it like that, you know, we've now got into the attitude where if we just pop to the shop and someone offers to carry a bag that we're going to use for one time, you know, we say no now. So it's sort of getting into the habit of, you know, do I want to be using, you know, the equivalent of 4 or 5 carrier bags every couple of days, you know, when you're on your period. As you know, sort of being aware that the actual use of plastic is unnecessary, because, you know, sanitary wear, sanitary products, I'm never sure which is the right phrase. You know, it's not medical you know, it's not classed as medical equipment, so it's not 100% necessary. And thirdly, it's just to have a little think about, you know, whether you could try something that's, you know, more reusable. You know, I'm aware it isn't for everyone. You know, a lot of people in the day, they're worried, you know, sort of about accident, about things showing, about all different things. But, you know, maybe even if you have a think about, you know, using something reusable when you're just at home, you know, kind of in the evening or of a night, or, you know, in conjunction. I know when I first started using the moon cup, I'd probably wear a pad with it, you know, just in case. And, you know, not once has there ever been an accident. So as I said, this is a video, you know, it's just something to have a think about, and I hope it's been informative. If not, a lot of people find periods embarrassing to talk about. I do a little bit, but, you know, the more we talk about it, the more we learn.